I'm going to guarantee you no hunter on the planet other than Doug and I have this next thing. Right.
Hello, carnivore hunters. This is Doug.
And this is Rick. So we're following up with this video from our carnivore Christmas wish list, but this is going to be our hunters wish list. So if you don't find anything in this video that is going to work for your carnivore or your hunter, be sure to check out this video right here. Our niche is a little unique in the YouTube space where we don't only talk about carnivore, but we talk about hunting because, I mean, there's no better way to get your meat than to go out and hunt it yourself and bring it to your own table.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first thing on our list is going to be a heated vest, and I've actually used a heated vest for a couple of years now, and I absolutely love this thing because it's thin, it's compact, and it's easy to layer your hunting clothes over. Whether you're wearing blaze orange or camo, whatever you're wearing, it's easy to layer over it. I would say maybe the only downfall to this is it with the battery pack in there, it does add just a little extra weight, but it's, to me, the little extra weight is worth the warmth. When you get right at sunrise, when the weather's as cold as it's going to be for the day, man, I'm telling you, I found I don't have to layer as much with this heated vest because I just don't need the extra layers with the heat that this thing produces. And matter of fact, one time I used it and it was too hot. I had to turn it down because it was actually starting to burn my skin. It's a great feature to have.
Definitely. And along those same lines, also heated gloves are another really good one. Now, a good pair of heated gloves probably going to run you about $100, and they can be a little bit bulky, but they're definitely something that, especially if you have late season hunters in your family or that you're looking to buy for, there's nothing worse than sitting out and early in the morning and seeing a big beautiful buck or big beautiful elk come over the hill, and realize that your hands are shivering. That there's definitely, when you're hunting, you want to be able to have a steady hand, and those little hot hands, those little disposable ones, just don't cut it most of the time. So heated gloves is definitely a good addition.
Yeah, I actually bought a pair this year, and as Doug said, they are, the downside is they are bulky. Again, you have the weight of the batteries, but to me, all that is worth it. If I do see an animal at dawn, whenever the legal shooting time starts, you may, if you're not comfortable shooting with a big bulky glove, which I'm not, I prefer my skin to be on the trigger. So I would have to deglove just to take my shot. But
but you'd do that anyway.
Yeah.
Early in the morning.
That's true. So another neat little option we discovered is, most hunters probably have just about everything they need. I mean, they're always coming out with new stuff, and it's, you can buy them some stuff from time to time. But if you're out of ideas because your favorite hunter has everything they already need, we found this really cool site where you could send a picture of your favorite hunter in and get a bobblehead made out of them, right? So it's a neat little thing. I haven't done it yet. I think I'd love to have one for my desk at work or my home office. It's a neat little knick-knacky kind of thing to have for your favorite hunter.
And again, along those same lines, we found another website here, Digital Taxidermy. Basically, you can send in an image of your animal, whether it's deer, elk, bear, whatever, and they will actually turn it into like a live a painting basically. So your favorite hunter will have a painting of their deer, their elk, kind of standing out in a natural habitat, and it's going to have their elks or their deers, a rack that'll match the rack of the deer that they had, and it got very cool. Again, little thing, especially for the hunter that already has everything that they really need.
Yeah. So another thing, or actually the next thing on our list is, backpacks don't live forever, and I have a backpack that I used up to until this last hunting season. That over the last couple of years, it started to develop a hole. And Doug and I were talking about this on the hunt. I was like, man, I'm going to have to invest in a new backpack. And so he kind of surprised me. My brother Doug here and my brother-in-law are huge fans of QU, KUIU. I've never used any of their products. I don't know why. I just never haven't. But anyhow, Doug surprised me by telling my wife while we were on the hunting trip that I needed a new backpack, and sent her a link for this QU backpack. And when I got home, there's a backpack sitting there waiting for me. And one of the best features about this backpack that I love is it has this rigid piece. You might be able to see it in the picture here, where it kind of separates the pack from the wearer and allows airflow through the back, so you don't get this big sweat stain on your back while you're using it. And so I'm really super excited to try this out. It's got the waistband to help take the weight off your shoulders. I think it's going to be a great pack, and it has a lot of different neat little compartments for packing all your stuff. The one thing it doesn't have is the shelf for packing out quarters or whatever, but typically the way Doug and my dad and I hunt, we don't use the shelf packs anyways. We have other methods for getting our animals out. So I'm excited to use that.
Yeah, and I can't stress the importance of a good quality backpack. I actually carried just a cheap, like, Walmart or Amazon backpack for years, and just the additional stress that puts on your back over the course of the week is just not worth it. You really want to, spend that extra money and get a good backpack. QU is not the only brand out there that makes great backpacks. There's a bunch of them. This is just the one that we use. So, yeah, it's a good one to check out. Now, back to our list. I mean, actually, kind of circling back to our heated theme. Really good pair of heated socks, or if you don't want to spend that kind of money, or you don't have that kind of money to spend, even just getting a good pair of merino wool socks. For merino wool socks, I'm a big fan of the Darn Tough brand. They make a great sock, but again, there's a lot of brands out there. I would just make sure that you are looking at merino wool. They're very soft, very comfortable, moisture wicking, so can definitely help with, when your feet are sweating because you're out hiking all day, help keep your feet from staying wet during those times. So definitely a good pair of socks. They were not the best gifts when we were kids, but as an adult hunter, they're a really good gift to get.
Yeah. Next on the list would be a portable solar power bank. And so we just finished talking about heated vest, heated gloves. Something else you are going to probably want to try to keep charged throughout the day is your cell phone, especially if you're using Onyx maps. This solar power bank is an option to have, because you can. The other good thing about QU backpacks, and I think most backpacks these days, have little loops where you can hook a carabiner and add accessories to the outside of the pack. So you can have your solar power bank on your shoulder or somewhere on your back, and plug your phone or your vest or glove batteries into to keep them charged for the evening hunt. After you drained your batteries in the morning hunt, you can charge them throughout the day and be ready to go at night.
And the next item on our list is going to be a little bit more affordable, very small and cheap, easy thing to use as a stocking stuffer, and that's Pyro Putty. Pyro Putty is designed to be is just a fire starter. It's these little tins full of putty. Then you can peel the putty apart until it gets looks like kind of like cotton. And then it's very easy to light and it burns for a good period of time, so you can get a nice fire started. And you know, some hunters, they when they get to their glassing spot, they do like to put up a little fire. We typically don't do that, but I carry it anyway, just in case, you know, in an emergency I need to start a fire to keep myself or someone else warm, or if your dad shoots an elk at 5:30 in the evening and you know you're going to be out until midnight clean, you know, field dressing that elk. So you know, a place for you guys to kind of step aside and get warm before you go back to work. So
Yeah, that was a fun trip. I remember that. Um, Next on our list would be a good sharpening kit, knife sharpening kit. So if you look here, Doug and I just did a video on a few different knife sharpening kits that we currently have, and every hunter is going to want to keep their blade sharp, right? So having a good knife sharpening system so they can keep their blade sharp. We always like to sharpen ours at camp. We usually get there a day or two or three days early, and we'll spend a day just sharpening our blades and getting them ready to go. And there's other options too, aside from what we have in the video. You know, if you just want to get them the ceramic rod that they can throw in their backpack, so if they're out in the field and they feel like they need to get that little extra edge on their knife, they can sharpen up it out in the field. So a lot of different options out there. So talk to your favorite hunter and find out what their needs are, and then surprise them with a gift like that.
now the next item on our list is actually something that I kind of just bought on a whim. I was just curious as if it worked. It was very cheap and relatively small, so again, it would be a very good stocking stuffer. But it's called the Butt Out, and this is a field dressing tool that kind of helps you remove the anus of your deer or elk that you've getting ready to field dress there. It actually worked a lot better than I expected,
Yeah.
and I think the where it didn't work as well as I would have liked, I think it was more user error being the first time that we used it than anything. Um, but it's again, was I think cost me less than $10 on Amazon, maybe a little bit more, but I mean it's right in that price range, and it's so small and so lightweight. It's definitely it's earned a spot in my pack. I'm going to go ahead and take that with us, and I'm sure next time it's going to work even better for us because we're going to have a little bit of experience with it.
Yeah, no doubt. I was impressed with it. You know, as Doug mentioned, it's one of those tools that's going to take some practice. We didn't use it perfectly, but we were able to keep the poop separate from the meat. And so, to me, yeah, I will definitely be buying one myself this year. Next on the list is Rapid Rope. So this is paracord in a box. It comes in a little plastic container, and it was what, Doug, 1,100 pounds, I think.
Yep. Yeah. 1,100 pound
And
test.
yeah, and what I really loved about this is it kept it nice and compact. I mean, literally, and about maybe a little bit bigger than a fist, wouldn't you say? That
Yeah.
and and what was great about it is the plastic side you could use as a weight. So when we went to hang Doug's deer this year, we just pulled out the length of rope we thought we'd need, and then we were able to throw that over a branch with relative ease. You know, your other branches and stuff are going to get in the way, but we got that over the branch quicker than we normally would. Actually, Doug, something I just thought about is one of the nice things is when it did get tangled around a branch, you could just kind of shake it, and the
Yeah.
weight of that plastic, you know, it took a little bit of time, but it would gradually drop it down to you where you could grab it and then and work out your tangled branches and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, oh, go ahead.
Absolutely. It was
Yeah,
just that extra weight on there. And any of you have ever thrown rope up over a branch, and if you've ever hung any deer, elk, or anything from a tree, you've been through this before. That extra weight from that little plastic canister was amazing in so many ways. It kept the paracord neatly tucked inside, so you didn't have paracord flying everywhere. And like Rick said, when it did kind of get stuck on one of the branches, we were able to just kind of jiggle it, and more paracord came out of the can slowly. Not too much, just enough to we got to a point where we could reach it, and we pulled it down. Definitely a great addition. And that's I'm buying more of this for next year myself for sure.
Yeah.
Next item on our list here is a good small first aid kit. And this is something that to me is extremely important to have. Fortunately, I've never actually had to use mine, but you really want a good first aid kit. You get those ones from, Walmart or Amazon, and usually the quality's not very good, right? You can't even get a Band-Aid to really stick right out of those. So you really want to go to a good company. The one that I use personally is called the My Medic. I believe it's Everyday Carry Pro, which they actually don't sell anymore when we went to look this up. But I did find one, and we'll put the link for this one up here. It's very similar. Was their sidekick is kind of very similar to the one that I have. Now, if you do go with MyMedic, I would recommend going with the Pro versions of whichever one you get, just because that Pro version does come with a few extra things that a hunter might find useful. There's a tourniquet in there, as well as some additional agents to help stop bleeding, things like that. So, we don't like to think about this stuff as hunters, but accidents do happen out in the woods when you get people out there. And again, I've never had to use it for this, but I want to make sure that if I'm ever in that situation, I'm going to have the best tools with me. And I do think this is a good one. Again, I'm sure there's others out there as well, but just make sure it has all of those. Again, a tourniquet and some things to help stop bleeding, things like that.
Yeah, like you said, man. Fortunately, we have not come into any critical or fatal type situations, but we have had some close calls ourselves, and that you need to be prepared for the worst, and hopefully, that never happens to any of us, but it can happen. So
Yep.
Just keep that in mind. The last thing on our list, I'm going to guarantee you, no hunter on the planet other than Doug and I have this next thing. We just started a line of Carnivore Hunter swag. So click this link right here and check it out. We've got some hoodies in there. We've got t-shirts. We have coffee mugs and Pilsner glasses and even stickers for your beer fridge or your beer cooler or whatever. So, check out our store here, and we've got some really cool stuff. And like I said, Doug and I are the only ones on the planet that have this stuff right now, and everybody's going to want some of this.
Absolutely. And we've actually gone in here. We decided we came up with our own tagline. So you're going to find that on some of the backs of the t-shirts and even some of the hoodies there. So that tagline is
antibiotic free,
steroid free,
wild fed,
wild caught, field to table.
Field to table. So yeah, guys, check it out, and make sure to hit like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can see our future content. And we'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.